Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Another day in paradise. So we got here, fight back, mulatto man. Fight back. What I want to talk about is the clip, the kind of viral clip that was out there in North Carolina of the mulatto boy who was strangled and assaulted. Now he's a boy. I'm saying men because I'm speaking to the men primarily, obviously, with this stream. I'm going to use what the situation happened as a case study that happened to the boy out there. We're going to talk about that. Before that, I'm going to share a street fight, a clip that I saw that I think it's interesting. It's worthy enough to provide some commentary on it. So I'm going to get right into that right now. Appreciate all of you being here with me this late in the evening. As you know, I typically do these late night creeps unscheduled, but nevertheless, I'm here and let's do this. So I'm going to bring up the clip right now. Let's get into this. It's hard to see, this is the image or the video. You can look at it here. It's hard to see kind of, exactly, obviously making a kind of guesstimate, so to speak, of the racial background, of the individuals. But, what is it that they say race is by phenotype, whatever. This is a perfect frame for this introduction right here. Look at the gentleman in the background with the white tee. In my white tee, yeah, in my white tee, yeah, in my white tee. He's got like a red cap on. That is a dark skin, which is typical within the African American community. African American community is not mostly mixed and light skin, no. That's a lie facade that they spread to hoodwink you into being their minority subordinate. Most African Americans look like the guy you see in his white tee. Yep, in my white tee. Yep. I don't know if you guys know that track. Dude has a red cap on, okay? He's just standing back there, just chilling, right? This is out there in Texas, all the way out there in Texas, over in their capital, Austin. But the two guys right here, the fella in the brown shirt and the jeans, you can see him. He's kind of holding some other curly-haired fella back, right? They clearly look like quintessential mulattoes, all right? So, and that's what I'm saying. This kind of, I'm pausing the video. This is the start of it. This still is very telling because you do a side-by-side comparison. Well, race is based on phenotype. Those two mixed gentlemen with the curly hair in the center of the screen, they don't look like the dark-skinned guy in the back with his white tee. Yeah, in my white tee. They don't look like him, homie. Lie all you want and pretend like the African American community has all these colors and stuff. Yeah, there's some light-skinned people. Yeah, they're a minority. They're a trapped minority subordinates, okay? That's why they're attracted to channels like mine. I give them courage. I get it. But yeah, I'm going to play the clip and let's check this out. So the mixed guy is holding back the other mixed guy. They're going to get in a little scruffle. Let's check it out. Who's the guy that attacked him, though? And he dropped to his knees. Oh, it's a dark-skinned dude. It's a quintessential Black American person. And I'm using this, I'm pointing it out. Like even right now, this still a side-by-side. These two mixed guys, they don't look the same as him. Oh, well, I have a cousin, uncle, sister's brother-in-law that's a nephew that got married, 5 days ago. They're 100% Black and they're lighter skinned than you. Yeah, all the same gaslighting tactics they throw. It's hilarious. But you look at the guy who's assaulting the mixed guys here, he looks the same as the dude, the dark skinned dude, just chilling back there, just having a good time, on the weekend, whatever, getting some dranky drink. They share the same phenotype. They're the same race. They're both Black. They're both African American. These two dudes in the middle, they're multiracial Americans. We could say mulatto to be specific. I don't have the specifics. I'm just providing commentary on this matter, generalizing, but it's clear as day, ironically, even though it's at nighttime, whatever. And this is a famous street out there in Texas. It's 6th Street out there in Austin specifically, where there's a lot of, younger folks, right? Bar hopping, drinking, getting into fights. There's a bunch of videos you can find the chicks, fighting and stuff too. It's pretty ratchet and embarrassing. But obviously, you have guys who partake in this type of tomfoolery as well. But we're going to talk about these mixed guys here. So the mixed guy, look at the screen, this still pause right here. Clearly two mixed guys, right? And the mixed guy's trying to hold back his mixed brother. Hey, just chill. Don't fight this fool. And he's clearly wrecking this dark skinned dude. He already dropped him, right? So, but you're going to watch and find out who jumps in, who steps in to defend the other monoracial. You're going to watch and see. You see the white guy jumped in there, right? Right. And the dark skinned dude got dropped again. That's like 3 times he's been dropped. But he's such an alpha, right? He's a dark skinned Bantu. That's what they tell you. He's such an alpha. You light skin, you sissy, you weak. You guys believe it. You don't train, you don't work out. You believe it. And he dropped this fool like 3 times already. Oh, that's because his homie jumped in. So what? If it was in the reverse, the same thing would happen. And you'd be getting punked and everyone be laughing at you. But because it happens to someone else, all of a sudden you're supposed to like just kind of extend grace, really. The whole point is, but they don't extend grace to you. How much longer do you want to continue to be a subordinate punk? Okay, that's kind of what I provide here. I'm letting you know how much longer you want to sit down and have the conversation with folks who are not trying to have the conversation with you. Because if they did, you wouldn't be in the predicament searching me up, looking me up. You want answers. You know something's wrong here. Okay. And as a disclaimer, I don't have all the solutions. So I don't know what else to tell you guys, but I'm going to provide some commentary on these affairs and check this out. Interesting. Got the police involved here, but yeah, now they're going to the ground. And the cop got this little whistle out. It's a whole circle, whole crowd, push the mixed dude away, right? Got white cops, mixed guy fighting with the black dude. Of course, they're going to detain the mixed guy because he was pretty much the aggressor. But I'd like to hear the backstory of that. Maybe I could, if someone had some information on that, I don't know. So it's arrest time, interesting. They're able to draw a crowd right here. And the mixed guy, with the brown t-shirt, who did jump in there and throw some shots. I guess the cops, they missed that part. So now he's like kind of just standing above scot-free, just like, I don't know what happened. But he did try to hold his friend back, didn't he? But his friend was basically putting in work. They say, you weak and soft, you light skin, you weak and soft. But of course, like he stood his ground, fought back, right? Initiated. It actually did some damage, dropped the dude a few times, right? Interesting. Because see, when that happens, then they switch the narrative from them being tough. Then all of a sudden it's, well, you're the aggressor. Well, you're a white supremacist or whatever little fruity term they're going to develop to call you, right? To demonize you, right? If they can put you in a subordinate position, they will, they'll basically embrace that, right? But when you are in the dominant, that alpha position as a mulatto man standing on business, all of a sudden they got to demonize you. They got to humble you, right? They got to make you realize, hey, you can't be confident out here, mulatto man. You can't be confident. Because they have it to where it's like they're comfortable within the arrangement, the status quo. They don't want you upsetting the social order. You're developing confidence. You're speaking up. More than that, than developing confidence and speaking up, you're fighting back. Yeah. And they're upset by that. So they'll get their little biracial simp enforcers and performative biracials and all the others, They're going to get all of them. They're going to set them up, line them up to try to tear you down. The goal here, the purpose here is to always continue to fight. Fight, 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 always fight. That's the purpose here. In this situation, obviously, it's a couple drunk people, young dudes, like early 20s, whatever, college students drinking and just got a little scruffle and interesting. Nothing else really to see here, right? Just business. But I'm going to rewind it back because the whole point I want to highlight is when the black dude was getting that work, the mixed guy had his mixed homie try to hold him back. Hey, you're going to fucking light this fool up. You're going to wreck this fool. Just chill, bro. You're mad chill. The dark-skinned pussy is like, oh, you light-skins, you weak and soft. The mixed light-skinned guy fucks up the dark-skinned guy. Who jumps up? Who jumps in there to stop the fight? Not the dark-skinned guy. Shout out to the cat in the back with in his white tee. Yep, in my white tee with the red cap. He's staying the fuck out of it. He's just chilling, trying to find some chicks and where's the party at? He's just chilling. But who steps in to defend the dark-skinned Bantu? It's that blonde-haired, pale Anglo. Interesting, isn't it, guys? The mono-racism. Interesting. It's the little twink, little blonde, pale Anglo steps in to defend his pet, the dark-skinned Bantu. You guys noticing that? You pick it up? Let me play the clip for you. Who's the first person to step in out of all these people? Does the mestizo step in? I just paused. Looks like a mestizo in his jeans and brown shirt. Are any of the Mexicans, that this is out there in Texas, they got a bunch of Mexicans. Are they going to step in? Who steps in? Not the black guy. He's just chilling. It's going to be that pale-skinned, blonde-haired little twink Anglo defending his pet to maintain the status quo and social order. They don't want to see this mulatto kid, the mulatto man, rather, fight back. He just dropped him once, right there, just dropped him. He's going to drop him again, too. He dropped him like 3 times. Look, right now, he's going to drop this. Just right there, like a jab, just drop him. Look at that, buckled. Dark-skinned Bantu buckled, right? The homie went in, threw in a right hook, threw in a shot. Look at his cat. Threw in a couple right hooks. Look who jumped in with the little camo hat. Look at the fucking white boy. Little Anglo, little scrawny twink Anglo boy jumps in to attack the mixed man to defend the dark-skinned Bantu. Don't they tell you white supremacy? Oh my God, white supremacy. White people hate me. White people hate me so much. It's colorism. I need the mixed people to make me feel better. Isn't that what they tell you, the narratives they push? But yet you have it on camera. And what they, the fucking white boy jumps in to defend the dark-skinned Bantu, to fight the mixed man. Interesting. They're trying to maintain the power imbalance. My job here is to encourage you, men. You need to fucking fight back. The days of being a punk and a bitch to monoracials is over. Continue to do that on your own time, but you guys are always going to be increasingly more irrelevant. You might get a little small army, of weaklings. But that's it. We have the video footage right in front of you. What else do you need? The Mexicans didn't jump in to defend the black guy. Other black people, even in this I'm pausing the still, there's a black guy right here just sitting there with his phone out. He's just chilling, minding his business. But who stepped in to attack the mixed man? That white boy who worked side by side with the dark-skinned black to attack mixed people. Oh, mulatto vanguard, you're fear-mongering, you're spreading fear. My whole thing is tell me I'm lying, please. Provide something to let me know that I'm lying, that this is not what we see out here. Yeah, he got clipped with the right hand. He backed the fuck off. He's like, this dude means business. This is between the mixed guy and the dark-skinned guy. I don't know why the white boy jumped in. Go stay over there and sit down and mind your business. Because I guarantee you, if it was a dark-skinned guy beating up on the mixed guy, the white boy would be nowhere to be found. He'd be with his little Asian fetish or his little Mexican subordinate. He would be nowhere to be found, just minding his business, right? But see, it's like you're upsetting the status quo. That's why the white boy jumps in, right? It's interesting with social media. It's obvious because how your shit gets reported, your shit gets flagged, you get shadow banned, you don't get the reach, you know. And who do you think's behind that? It's not the small hats for you idiots who want to continue to scapegoat. Okay, it's the Anglo boy, the Gentile, working with the dark-skinned Bantu. It's what it's always been. Okay, that's it for that one. Now I want to go into the other one that I think someone's covered. I think shout out to Pride Disciple. He's actually covered it. The assault that happened on a biracial teen. I believe it was out there in North Carolina. I want to highlight this one and talk about that. So let me bring the clip up. The dude standing there with the hat. I'm going to share some news stories based off this case. From what I understand, what they're saying, we'll get into that, is that this guy, the biracial kid, he's a teenager. He broke up with some white girl, and this is the girl who kind of slapped him. And they're saying there was a dispute because he stole some of her belongings or something. That's kind of the background. But it looks like they're having a bonfire out here. It's in North Carolina, the South. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but homie's at an all-white party, and he fucked around and found out. You know, unfortunately. Oh, so that's a white boy. He looks like he's drinking or something. I don't know. For a second, I thought it was a mixed guy. Damn. Okay, so that's supposedly the ex-girlfriend, right? This white girl who assaulted this guy right here. Right, cheap shot. I guess that's what they call it, kind of a cheap shot, right? And he puts him in a chokehold here.
Let's go. Put him to sleep.
The girl, I guess, is the ex-girlfriend saying, let him go. And the guy in the background antagonizing, saying, put him to sleep, right? I think the guy who's on top is like an adult. We're going to get into it. There's some news articles, news stories about this. I think that's an adult who's choking the kid, right?
Let's go. Put him to sleep. Put him to sleep. Don't let go.
So he's already asleep. He's already knocked out, unconscious. Here's another angle here. Choking him out, unconscious. Like I said, supposedly it was a dispute over, I guess, the ex-girlfriend who was there, who was the one who assaulted him first. But yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with this. And the guy got choked out again. He's trying to get back up, covering his face. And that's basically it for that. Let me bring something else up here for you guys. And yeah, let me share this with you guys. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys. If you guys support the message, you like the content, be sure to hit the like button because that does help me in the algorithm. So here we have from, what source is this? This is Lenore County Sheriff's Office. Here we go.
Sheriff Jackie Rogers says he has requested the State Bureau of Investigation to review the surrounding circumstances of an assault caught on video. Rogers clarified some comments made on social media overnight, identifying the victim of the assault as a black teenager.
They're identifying the victim of the assault as a black teenager. Those of us over here, clearly we know that's a mixed kid. Mulatto, more specifically, clearly didn't look Blasian to me, but they're identifying as black. What is he, black and Egyptian? What is he, black? What? He looks like a mulatto. He has the phenotype of a mulatto. Safe to say that. Confidently, I can say that. And yeah, but the other articles, I have some other stuff I want to share too. They're going to label this guy as black. This kid, he's a kid as black. What? Yeah.
The sheriff also made note of his relation to a young woman seen in a video punching the victim. Rogers says the woman is a second cousin related to his wife's side of the family. Rogers says the woman will be charged with assault. To ensure a thorough and fair investigation, Rogers says the sheriff's office has requested assistance from the SBI. Rogers says the victim and his father came into the sheriff's office on Monday to report the assault, which happened on May 24th outside of Grifton in Lenoir County. There are 3 different clips that show different instances of teenagers assaulting the boy, who officials say had minor injuries and received medical treatment. The victim's family member told WITN he had several broken teeth and ruptured blood vessels.
Broken teeth and ruptured blood vessels. Damn. That sucks. But it could be worse. I think ultimately it's a learning lesson. You see him kind of hunched down, hunched over right here. Kind of have to hold that L, regroup, get the fuck out of there. Number one, situational awareness, get out of there. And, kind of regroup, And, but at his young age, he's learning a valuable lesson. The goal is hopefully he doesn't just move all the way to super, pro-black, because he was hanging out with the wrong crowd. And that's, be mulatto, still be proud to be mulatto. You don't have to hate black or hate white. Just be mulatto, but just understand your environment. Okay.
Yesterday, the sheriff's office said 6 kids will face charges in Lenoir County as a result of an investigation.
Said 6 kids will face charges, but I believe these 2 are adults. I think this guy, Ashton Clark, is the one who choked him out, if I'm not mistaken.
18-year-old Ashton Clark,
There we go, 18, legally an adult. And I believe this is the person who put the chokehold on. So they're going to charge his ass. But there's other teens involved, And even right here, look at how they're saying 2 teens charged an assault. And they're showing an adult. He's what? They said 18. He's legal adult. You can vote. You're an adult now, son.
18-year-old Landon Harris.
And 19. So yeah, the teen, 18, 19, they're technically teens, but they're legally adults. Let's be specific across the board, okay? Because if it was in other cases, right, if you just switched out the race of the suspect perpetrator, they would literally say this, okay, he's an adult, charge him as an adult, blah, blah, blah. But you look at the biased media, they're trying to say 2 teens. That don't look like, that's not a teen, that's an adult. He's 18, he can vote. He choked someone who was still in high school. He fucked around. His ass needs to do the time. So let's be clear here. These semantics with the media, it's that's why we have the independent mulatto media. All right, that's why I'm here.
And a 17-year-old have already been arrested and charged in the case. 6 others under the age of 18 have been identified and will be charged with offenses ranging from assault with a deadly weapon, simple assault, and conspiracy. The sheriff's office says the assault stemmed from an argument between the teens, and at this time, the investigation doesn't appear to be racially motivated. They say
at this time, it doesn't appear to be racially motivated. What a coincidence. It happened in the South too, right? What a coincidence. It's not racially motivated. What a coincidence.
Video was posted in a group chat.
But you know what? They're going to identify the kid as black though. So they're going to add hyper emphasis on the victim's race. But with the suspects and perpetrators, they're like, well, I don't know. It wasn't racially motivated. Why didn't you just call the kid who was choked out, a white guy? Or why did you emphasize that he's black? He clearly looks half white. He's mulatto. So what gives? What's the agenda here? You can't have it both ways. You can't hyper fixate on the victim's race, but then the suspects who are involved in the victimization of that person say, well, it's not racially motivated. Whoa. Everyone can see what's going on. That's why the media needs to be checked and challenged as they are. That's what's happening right now. Now, we can't let these people talk for us and speak for us. We're going to report on the news. We got mulatto news. We got stories coming out like this. Yeah, we're going to report on it. Shout out to Pariah Disciple. I know he did a video talking about this clip, I think a week ago, if I'm not mistaken. And shout out to Mulatto Mindset. I know he shared a post about this particular story and how they're one-dropping the victim, the teen, as black. Shout out to both of you brothers, and what you're doing to spread this information and news. I'm just doing my part here, providing some, clarity as well, in my opinion and viewpoints on the matter.
That the victim was a member of. The victim has left the area with everything that is going on. Deputies say all the teens will be processed through the juvenile justice system.
Okay. I saw an interesting comment right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me zoom it in so it's easier to kind of see. I think that should be good. There's a comment here that says, if he had used a knife to defend himself, he would have been in jail. Yet they could have easily ended him. Take a good look at America. They know how America is and that they will get away with it. They hit him so hard they broke his teeth out. And you see on the video lying semi-conscious, and the police say he had minor injuries. He was concussed, concussion, broken teeth, ruptured what they say, blood vessels or something like that. I forgot exactly. But the guy got screwed, man. I mean, he got screwed. He got, choked out unconscious. He got hit in the head, concussed. He's going to need time to recover. There's a lot of swelling in his brain. Like, that's not a good situation that occurred. Yeah, but they're going to say minor injuries. Yeah, because he's a mulatto kid. If he was a white kid, oh my God, we got to baby him, pat him on the back, tell him he's special, right? That's kind of how it works. But again, it's not working in their favor because they're becoming softer. That's why they're getting conquered all over the place, right? They're becoming way softer and easily to punk. So the pampering and babying that's been going on with them, telling them that they're special, and they invent everything. It hasn't really worked out in their favor because their own women are openly committing mutiny against them, creating more of us, as I might add, empowering us. And it's not looking really good for them in many regards. So, and then they put here, they know their system will always have their back from the police. Well, because most of the cops are white. Most of your educators are white, your politicians, most of your teachers. So what do you expect? They're a majority. So of course you're saying we'll have their back. If it was in a black nation, and the same thing would happen in reverse. The blacks would have the back of the other blacks. Same thing in the Asian nation. That's how it works around the world. So don't get mad because they're a majority and they have a code and they work together. So that's the whole thing, this victim complex here. They know the system will have their back. Yeah, it's their system. They created it. Create your own government, create your own legal system, right? Write your own constitution. You don't want to do that. You want to cry because they know how to work together as a unit, right? But it's from the police and judge court system. Yeah, most of the lawyers, attorneys, the whole shebang. Prosecutors, they're all white. So that's their system. They created. Develop your own system. Right? And then interesting comment here. This guy here, John Bailey, so it's what Irish American Bailey right here. He puts blacks assault whites much more often. And often the injuries are more severe. Don't be a hypocrite. The guy's got a Confederate flag, stars and bars. I just want to highlight this because this person points it out. You're going to post the stars and bars and not know the history behind it, or you do and say that America's effed up. We so deserve to fail as a nation. So this person's a hater, man. I mean, how the hell are you an American? Like this victim complex. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to shame whites for liking themselves and having a system. Yeah, and granted, in this case, it's an evil situation where they're, like I'm saying, the media, they're calling this kid black, but the media is covering for the whites, saying it wasn't racially motivated. We got to do more thorough investigation. It's like clearly you watch the clip, it's obvious, right? But you're upset that they have a code. Why don't none of you people have a code? And this person's a victim. America's effed up. Well, then fucking leave. Go cry somewhere else. We deserve to fail as a nation. This person wants you to fail with them. They want you to be in their crab bucket with them and fucking fail. This mentality is so poisonous and detrimental. We deserve to fail. Fuck you. I'm not trying to fail with you. Fuck that. I'm trying to get rich and prosper. And for my future progeny, I want them to prosper and get rich. Fuck that. I'm not trying to fail with you and shit. And but yeah, this person here is clearly biased. Look at the stars and bars, Confederate flag and shit. Like, I just want to highlight that. I thought it was kind of comical. I saw that comment there. It was like, yeah, okay, sure. I can get in and share another clip here. I don't want to kind of bore you guys. I know it's late at night, but yeah, I just want to kind of provide my take on this the best I can. So let me share another clip. And I'll drop the link if you guys want to hop on and provide some commentary or something.
From the Lenore County Sheriff's Office for the first time after a disturbing video that went viral showing a group assault on a teenager. 3 arrests have already been made, with others expected to be charged. 9 on Your Side's Olivia Wolfson has new details for us. Live from Kinston tonight. Olivia, what's the latest?
Ken, right now they believe that the victim's ex-girlfriend actually set this all up, and they also do not believe it's racially motivated at this time, but they are still investigating.
Again, and there's another news clip. I don't know if I want to share it. I might, just to highlight this. You hear what she said. Oh, they don't believe it's racially motivated. But why are they fixated on calling the teenager black if it's not racially motivated? He was the same complexion as them, just had a tan, clearly half white, clearly he's a mulatto. Like, they want to fixate on the race of the victim. But for the suspects, they're like, well, it wasn't racially motivated. It's unclear. Fuck you. Biased media. We see what's going on here.
For us, live from Kinston tonight.
This is why you need independent sources out here to fact check all of this.
Olivia, what's the latest?
Ken, right now they believe that the victim's ex-girlfriend actually set this all up, and they also do not believe it's racially motivated at this time, but they are still investigating.
Obviously, if we receive any more information, or there's one video that don't have any sound to it of the kid being choked, and obviously if we find something that's racially motivated, we will step up the investigations and go in that direction.
Step in the investigation. I mean, you guys are already basically doing a good job. Just arrest the bastards. I mean, that's it. My whole position here is don't act like we're stupid when we're watching you. We see the footage. You have a bunch of white teens beating up this mulatto kid. You want to report the news and say it's a black teenager. Okay. Why is the race important of the mulatto, but then the race is not important of the suspects? Okay, yeah, you did your job. You're getting paid by taxpayers. Arrest the bastards. They committed a crime. We got footage of it. And justice should be served. Hopefully, the young man, he sues them in civil court, gets all of his medical expenses paid for, and plus more for the emotional distress, etc. So, yeah.
Detective Brittany Parsons also says the victim has not mentioned any racial element to the assault. So far, 2 adults and 1 teen have been arrested. 4 other teens are also getting charges. 1 is related to Sheriff Rogers' wife.
I have served in law.
One of the teens is related to this guy's wife. Ah, interesting. No wonder there's bias reporting.
Law enforcement for more than 34 years. And my integrity and trust of this community means everything to me. Regardless to whether you're the individual as a family member, friend, or a stranger, the law applies equally to everyone.
The NAACP was also at the press conference and had this to say after speaking with the sheriff.
But based upon the conference that took place here on today.
And they are jumping. And again, it's the phenotype. Like I said, this is the average phenotype of Black America. These are both dark-skinned black. This is the phenotype, because people will try to pretend like the mulatto phenotype is the average in the United States in African-American community. That's a lie. Now, they're part of the NAACP, who's against mulattoes having our own category because they want more power in the hands of dark-skinned African-Americans. But they're involved in this situation because it's politically advantageous for them to be a part of it. They want to blackwash and one drop and label the kid as black, so they can kind of get their deals, behind the scenes. This is why you see them there, like ambulance chasers, opportunists. Like, why are the NAACP involved? That's the interesting thing. Why? It was a dispute that started over a mulatto kid who was dating a white girl, and they broke up. Something happened, and the white girl said this guy, took one of her belongings. You saw they recorded the footage. She punched a guy, and then the other guys jumped in and choked him out, tried to rough him up, teach him a lesson, I guess, so to speak. Um, why is the NAACP involved? I'm just curious. Like, don't you guys have bigger issues to worry about? You guys tell me. You tell me.
Sheriff.
But based upon the conference that
Because they're opportunists, they want more political power in their hands. So they're going to use this situation of this mulatto kid to acquire more power into their hands. That's what it is. Let's be honest.
took place here on today, we stated one of the juveniles that actually did commit an act was biracial as well. So like,
Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that? Out of the horse's mouth. She literally just said, and he was biracial as well. I'm going to put subtitles on. You can see in the subtitles I just put on the screen. This is my first time watching this clip. I think I watched like a second or 2 seconds of it. It was like, let me hop up on here live and talk with my folks, my tribe, the mulattoes here. You guys caught that? It's on the screen. She says biracial as well, and that the victim was also biracial. See, there's a difference between black and biracial. The lady on the screen who represents the NAACP is a black person. Her phenotype, just like her other fella that I shared earlier. Those are African Americans, those are black people. They're not Indians, they're not mixed, they're monoracial black. At best, they have like maybe 8% Irish or something. They're not even Sakatras, that term's antiquated. The only people using the term Sakatra are these interlopers who want to jump into the mulatto conversation, okay? But literally biracial. Yeah, we all know it. Yeah, it's a mulatto kid, okay? So listen to this person. They're telling themselves, why are you representing? You guys are not representatives of biracial. I mean, you're just using at a convenience this story to acquire more political power and capital and social, cultural cachet for the African American group and for the quote unquote legitimacy of your organization, who was founded by a mulatto, W.E.B. Du Bois. We get it, 100 years ago. And the mulattoes have nothing to kind of really show for it. My whole thing is I tell mulattoes, make sure you get yours. You're a leader amongst them. You get entertained. You get some money. Make sure you get something out of it, right? Because when they deal with you and they're going to quote unquote defend you, like you see here, make no mistake, they're trying to acquire power and get some kind of recognition from it. Do you think it's out of good faith they give a damn? It's a little small isolated incident between a girlfriend and a boyfriend who were teenagers, and some other folks got involved. They're all white. Yes, it was racially motivated, but he's biracial, as you acknowledge. He's not black like you. So you're involved. Why? Oh, because you want to acquire some type of, I guess, influence over this. Am I sounding crazy? I don't think I am.
that took place here on today, we stated one of the juveniles that actually did commit an act was biracial as well. So like I said, it puts us.
Said biracial as well. I like that distinction, because the damn media sources, they're sitting here saying that he was a black kid. But all of a sudden, a real black person's jumping on here in front of the media telling you biracial. There's a difference. That's why you need media sources like me and others as well to report on this news. Catch them in their trickery.
In a bad spot, but we know based upon the evidence, as the investigation continues, it may show us different, especially if the sound to one of those videos is found.
Warrants say the victim was choked until going unconscious, popped the blood vessel in his eye.
Yeah, we saw the clip. The dude got choked out, was asleep. That was pretty brutal. As someone like me who knows jiu-jitsu, yeah, that was pretty bad.
And was hit in the face with a glass bottle, chipping his tooth.
No parent should have to view that type of behavior happening to their child. No child, regardless of the color, should have to endure what that teenager endured.
Said no child, regardless of the color. Yeah, we get it. It would be just as equally fucked up if it was reversed and it was a bunch of biracial kids beating up a white kid, or a bunch of black kids beating up a white kid, or a bunch of biracial kids beating up a black kid. It would be really bad. All of these scenarios are bad. No one's disputing that. My whole thing is, number one, why do you use the one drop rule to call the kid black? Number two, why do you jump up out here and want to be like a representative for a situation? You're trying to make it more, it's obvious it's racially motivated, but the white media is covering their ass, because you just saw one of the sheriffs, the girl who threw the sucker punch, who was the girlfriend of the biracial mulatto kid. That girl was connected in the police department, right? She was a family member of the sheriff. So you see the type of like, you know, connections here. Interesting.
And we as NACP will stand strong behind the family.
Here's a little bit of a timeline of what's going on here. The incident happened on May 23rd. A school resource officer was notified on May 27th and began interviewing students. The victim and his father then went to the sheriff's office on June.
Okay, I got one more. Let me see. What's the comments look like here? 7 comments. Prayer, such evil group of people. 9 on 1 is sad. Yeah, that was pretty bad, huh? 9 on 1. Man, on these YouTube streets, you had a 20v2. You know, shit. You was like,
First, it's
I was laughing with the homie, was that Mulatto Mindset? Shout out to him. You know, on these YouTube streets, they had a 20v2. It was like they're hating on me and Mindset, the dudes with the most influence, right? Inspiring these other men to create their channels, to be advocates for themselves, you know, to have some honor and pride. And people were shook and scared, you know, interesting. But yeah, it was like 20v1, a whole panel of people. I had some disgruntled fans too. That was the takeaway from that. You know, I saw one stream, the first one initially, I was like, oh, here we go again. Rinse, cycle, repeat. We already went over this shit over a year ago. I've already checked your ass, dealt with you, but you want to like kind of get your lick back. It's like you're a loser cunt. Like you're just pathetic and disgusting. It's boring. Like just move around and go find something useful to do. I'm not interested, you know? But some folks out here, they still kind of hold on to these weird grudges. I just cut people off. Once they do me dirty or show me their intentions, I just get rid of them. There's too many people out here, good people I can deal with. So I just cut bad people off. But some people, they hold on to these grudges. And like I said, the takeaway when I watched the first stream, it was like 4 hours. Like, damn, you're trying to make me famous out here. I had a disgruntled fan jump on the panel talking shit. This person never like joined my panel, never emailed me, never messaged me. But for whatever reason, they found an opportunity to join a panel to talk crap on me. It was like hilarious. A straight up disgruntled fan, bro. I was like, wow, I got motherfuckers out here like that. I've been listening to you for a while, Mulatto Vanguard, and you spread vitriol. I'm tired of listening to you. Oh, okay. God, I guess, thanks. I guess I wasted your time. That's on you, loser. Fuck you. What do you want me to do? You know? But now you're blaming me or something. You want to jump on someone else's channel and talk shit about me. You're just as bad as me and anyone else. That's the hilarious part. What are you doing to help anyone out? You're going to jump on a panel and talk shit about me while you complain that I spread vitriol. But now that vitriol, now you're just kind of redirecting it towards me. So what the hell are you complaining about? I'm confused, scratching my head. What's going on? I'm going to share this clip right here and then, yeah, keep it pushing. This is another clip based on the same story. Let's check it out.
6 tonight, we were hearing from the Lenoir County Sheriff's Office for the first time after a disturbing video that went viral showing a group assault on a teenager. 3 arrests have already been made, with others expected to be.
It's actually the same clip. Did I share? Oh, okay. I screwed up. Okay, I copied a couple links. I should have had another video, but my kind of preparation was not on par. I should have had another video, but I copied the same exact link, so I don't have the other video that I wanted to report on, but it's all fair game. It's all good. I shared what I need to share in that regard, and yeah. So I have some solutions here, okay? Awareness and Strength and Empowerment Guide for Mulatto Men. Number 1, train MMA. Train MMA, mixed martial arts. Number 1. You get a solid foundation of your stand-up, your striking, your Muay Thai, boxing, and then your jiu-jitsu, your wrestling. That's your core kind of foundation, the pillars there. Your striking and grappling. Just train MMA. Learn how to fight off your back, fight in a clinch position, fight standing up, on your feet, everywhere. And you have the diagram here. Number 1 says develop defense skills, discipline, and physical prowess. Number 2, work out daily, no exceptions, every day. Build strength and consistent habits, whether it's cardio, weightlifting, MMA, hitting the bag, everything. Train every day. Maybe take 1 day off as a rest break, whatever. But 6 days out of the 7 days every week, you need to train. Okay? No exceptions. Even right here, the little AI kind of image here, it has it right there for you. No exceptions. You don't have it. There's no excuses. You need to do something. Get off your ass, go lift some weights, do some push-ups, go hit the bag. You need to train. Have down here in the bottom left, be aware of surroundings and social circle. Now that's a key thing. The young kid, the teenager, biracial guy, he learned his lesson that day. Like I said, a couple chipped teeth. He got knocked out, looked pretty bad. He was choked out unconscious. His girlfriend turned on him. So he has a broken heart and a broken tooth. Okay. But he's a younger man. Like, you can kind of get over that hurdle and those kind of bumps, I think, a lot easier. You're younger. The older you get, you can't really be taking hits like that. I mean, shit. So, I mean, the fact that it happened to me, what I'm saying is it happened to him at a younger, earlier age, I think it's a better scenario so we can move forward to where it's like his situational awareness will be on fleek. He's not going to be surrounded by like an all-white party like that. I think he's in the South, right? North Carolina. Yeah, he's not going to be repeating that whole scenario where he's surrounded by nothing but white folks. And he looks around himself and like, oh, my mama's white. I'm white just like you. My girlfriend's white. She's your ex or whatever. And he realizes, okay, this is not really a good situation, young man. But he learned that lesson. So right here it says, stay vigilant, evaluate connections, foster support. All right. Last one here, 4, it says caution the token biracial dynamic. Being the token biracial in a monoracial gathering, as you saw with the biracial kid, it can/will backfire on biracials, on biracial males specifically. Recognize tokenism, seek genuine inclusion, and prioritize healthy dynamics. Right. What else do I need to say on that? That's basically everything right there. Train MMA, work out daily, be aware of your surroundings. And being the token biracial in a monoracial gathering can and will backfire on you as a mulatto, especially if you're a proud mulatto. So with that, I think I'm going to drop the link. If anyone wants to hop on the panel and kind of join the conversation, I'd love to hear your guys' take on this, on what I've covered so far. This is an open forum. Doing my service, Mulatto Media. Love to hear what you guys have to say on this. CJ says, bro, fight the good fight. Bantu's going to fall back. Just watch. Yeah, the first clip I shared, that Bantu fell back pretty good. But he's masculine. He's dark skinned. You light skins. You mix. You weak. That was once. The Bantu just got dropped right there, right? It's going to get dropped again. Right there. His legs buckled. Look at that. Bantu got dropped. The white boy jumped in. The homie that was like, what's up? You want some too? He ended up clipping the white boy. He got out of line and jumped in to defend his little pet. So the white boy got fucking clipped. Yeah, the white cops jumped in. Yeah, very typical. It's good old American stuff. Let's see right here. Why the black community is obsessed with the mulatto community is so weird. Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on who you talk to, though, as well, right? Yeah. What's up, bro? We should
What's up, bro?
promote
Can you hear
mulatto.
me?
Yeah, your audio is good.
Oh, you can hear me. Hold on. I can't hear you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna leave and then come back in, all right?
Cool. Shout out to Mulatto Front says we should promote active groups for young mulatto men. We would teach them how to defend themselves, but with honor and confidence. Definitely, yes, sir. That could definitely be your mission. You sound like you are fit for that job, for sure. Based off the interactions I've had with you, some of the comments that you dropped and stuff like that. Um, yeah, most definitely. I think that's kind of my trajectory in my life. What I'm going to be doing is for sure coaching with the martial arts jiu-jitsu. I've spent so much time invested in it. Eventually, I'm going to teach it. That's just a natural kind of progression with martial arts as well. But for me specifically, it's with the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? What's up?
What's up with it, bro? Sorry about that. Um, I was gonna say in terms of this, bro. So I grew up in the South. Originally I was born in Cali, lived there from 0 to 7, but then I moved to Texas when I was a kid, and when I was around 8 years old, and basically from second grade to the time I graduated high school, I lived in Texas. I remember so many times, bro. Them Anglos down there are different. Like they're so uppity down there in the South. And I think it's because they have a numerical advantage. It's a little bit different over here in Cali. In Cali, they're a little bit more, respectful. They're a little bit more, they come with some humility. But down there in the South, bro, they think they can just bully people. You know what I mean? I
Oh
remember.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they tried me too, and I'm like, damn, I'm from California, and it's I got to remind them, like, nah, not with me. With other people, I'll be the bad mulatto. That's all good, but yeah, you can't punk me. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So I remember there was a time. This was when I was in 11th grade, and this is actually important because this pertains exactly to what we're talking about right now. And there was a gentleman, white boy from Chicago, and he was deeply in black culture, and he was one of those white boys who wanted to be ghetto. You know what I mean? He played basketball, and he had like a sleeve, and so you know what I mean. Like he wanted to be a tough guy. He was on that type of timing. So so anyways, I remember during my junior year of high school, me and him were in the same forensic psychology class, and during the first 2 months of the semester, first 2, 3 months, I would basically help him with the homework, and I would send him the answers and stuff like that because he was too lazy to do it himself, or he was just too dumb. So he basically depended on me. And then one day, me and him basically had a falling out because he texted me at 6 o'clock in the morning asking me for the answers to the homework, and I was like, bro, like I'm busy, like you're gonna have to ask somebody else, like you got to do it yourself, whatever, whatever. I was like, I still got to figure it out on my own. So it is what it is. Like, you got to just figure that out. And basically, he responded on text and he was like, all right, fuck you. You're fake. That's basically what he said to me. So then later that day, he saw me in class and I went to go dap him up and he basically just ignored me. You know what I mean? Like, he was on some totally different energy because he was mad at me. So from that point forward, he basically treated me different. That following month, there was a guy that I was in that class with who was cool. He was a Sikh Indian, and he would always wear that turban. And so he would come through, he would basically like do little fuck shit with me. Like he would just do little fuck shit with me. So I remember this was towards the end of the semester. This was in November. In physics class, we had a final project that was due. I came in on a Friday. My whole entire physics project was due, or it was complete. I had a bridge, and to pass the project, you got to make sure your bridge can hold, a brick on it, and that's how you were going to get an A. He literally destroyed my bridge because he asked me to see it. I handed it to him. He literally broke it in half, destroyed the whole shit. And this was the Friday before it was due, and it was due Monday. I spent a whole week on it. I had to basically go to another girl's house, ask her for materials, and redo the whole fucking thing on Saturday and Sunday so I could have it turned in by Monday because this Anglo boy thought he could fuck with me. So I was like, all right, bet. So I was like, I see how it is. Then the following week after I did that assignment, he came back and he started fucking with me, and he was fucking with this Sikh guy. He was making fun of the dude's turban, making fun of his culture. Long story short, I basically had to check him because for a whole month and a half, he was just fucking with me. You know what I mean? Just totally fucking with me, trying to give me a hard time, trying to bully me. And eventually, I was like, man, if you don't shut your Machine Gun Kelly looking ass up and sit down. And then he gets up, he's like, say it one more time. I said it again, and he slapped me in the face. And then I got up and proceeded to beat the shit out of him. But this is like, I literally grabbed him, tackled him, and I tackled him so hard that I slammed the back of his head into the corner of the table, and it busted open. And then me and him both ended up getting suspended. After that, he texted me on the phone, and he tried to get me to fight him at a park that was outside of school to get his lick back, and he was going to set me up with all his friends. And I was like, nah, bro, I ain't fighting you outside of school. Like, you might have a knife, you're going to bring your homeboys with you, and all of his homeboys were black athletes. So I was like, this shit's going to be a setup. But this is the kind of stuff you got to deal with as a mulatto man. Like, because me, I was like, I've always been a well-mannered, respectful. If you're good to me, I'm going to be good to you. I don't want to cause problems. You know, I'm going to try to go along to get along with everybody. But they'll single you out, bro. If you're a mulatto man in school, they'll single you out. Blacks will do it. Whites will do it. You know, because you try to be the peacemaker, you try to be cool with everybody, and they think that means you're soft. And this guy thought he could fuck with me. This white boy thought he could fuck with me because he was on the basketball team, and I just had to show him otherwise. Like, whooped his ass. I literally blacked out. I was about to really hurt him, and then somebody else had to come pull me off of him. That's the kind of stuff we got to put up with, and that's why I agree with this message. Like, we got to get in self-defense. We got to get like this is real shit. So I just wanted to share my testimony on this.
Yeah, no, shout out to you. And I'll say this, like, I'm a martial artist. So for me, it's all self-defense. I'm not out here advocating you attack anyone. That's not the case. I'm not out here saying fight people and just like pick fights or attack people. Not at all. I'm saying as a mulatto man, stand your ground. You need to be prepared, be ready. You need to fight back. The days of you trying to cower and try to get along and be the peacemaker and all this stuff, no. That's cool if you want to do that. I think pushing diplomacy forward, being diplomatic is going to be our best tool. Now, remember, they try to use it against us. They take advantage of us, where they say you could be used as a bridge to bring people together. So they try to weaponize the altruism that we naturally have and use it against us to be servants, political servants. My whole thing is I'm saying, look, just be ready. If it happens, you need to fight. And if you do fight, I'm going to back you up. I'll be the number one person. If everyone out here is throwing you under the bus, saying you're the bad guy, you're a mulatto man who stands on business and fights back, I will be the person that will back you up and defend you. And who knows, in the future, when I got a fucking big bank account, I could bail you out. I can help you out with that legal expense. I'm putting it out there right now. We're going to get in that direct.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're good. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, that's another thing with a lot of these white boys and a lot of these, you know, these blacks. When I was growing up in the South, man, like, they singled me out, bro. They singled me out. I remember it like it was yesterday. So I grew up in, there was two different places I lived in when I was in Texas. First place I lived in was Kingwood. Kingwood is 90% white. It's Southern, Christian, conservative, evangelical, like all that. You know what I mean? Like typical white Southern Christian area. And these white boys think they run the shit down there. You know what I mean? Like they think they can just go around punking everybody because they got the numerical advantage and all that kind of stuff. And I remember just the way they would just disrespect me. You know what I mean? Just the craziest stuff. And I remember that a lot of the blacks would go against me. And I'll give you a specific example. So I had this friend group when I was in 10th grade, and these guys would gang up on me. So there was a girl, her name was Asia. She was in my geometry class. She was another mulatta, funnily enough, biracial, black and white. I approached her to go to homecoming with her, and she basically shot me down because she tore her ACL. She says, I can't go to homecoming. I'm injured, whatever. I was like, cool, I respect that. I go to the homecoming with all my homeboys, right? I go to homecoming with all my homeboys. She's there, with her ACL brace on talking to another dude, a white boy. So she totally lied to me. And when I saw her there, she like pretended like she couldn't see me because she basically lied to me. Fast forward a few months, me and my boys are in a group chat. We're playing Xbox or whatnot. One of my guys, an Anglo boy, Irish, last name was O'Hearn. He says, "Hey, Brandis, I just got a message from Asia. She says she wants to talk to you." I was like, "All right, bet." So she sends me a text message. She sends me a text message through Snapchat. She's like, "Hey, Brandis, I have something to say to you." I was like, "Tell me what it is." She's like, "I still have feelings for you." I was like, "Oh, yeah, I still have feelings for you, too." Then she goes, "By the way, it's a prank. John told me to tell you that." So my own homeboys, white boys, set me up to get fucked with by a girl I used to have feelings for. And she was in on it. So this is their way of trying to basically conspire against me. And the funniest part was when I told my black homeboy, his name was Nick, when I told my black homeboy, a guy who I saved his life, he got into a fight with some biracial kid, Mulatto, and the Mulatto kid almost threw his ass over the balcony because they had like some beef, and I had to literally save him from getting his ass thrown over the balcony. This was in 10th grade. That same guy threw me under the bus and went against me to help these Anglo boys out. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the kind of stuff they'll do to you, bro. Like, throw you under the bus. And that's why I'm like, I don't recommend the South to anybody. But that's a lot of that's what they do to people like you, because you're different, you're an outlier, you're respectful. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good, man. Continue on. You're good.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like, they always did that stuff to me. They punked me all the time. There would be times when I would come back home and it would be like a Friday, and like I was not allowed to play any video games during the weekdays because my parents were super strict. So they're like, you're only allowed to play video games Friday, Saturday, Sunday so you can focus on your grades. I would come back home Friday. I'd be like, "Hey, like, you guys want to hop on Xbox?" They would basically be like, "Yeah, we're going to hop on Xbox." They'd create a party, and then I would ask them to let me in, but they would put the party on invite only, and then they would ignore me. Or if I would be getting it, I'd be going back and forth arguing with them while we were playing Fortnite. The Anglos and the Bantus in my friend group, they would side with each other against me and kick me out of the party chat all the time.
So the
Sorry.
message no, you're good. I just wanted to interject here. The message that I'm espousing, it resonates with you because you're seeing it in real time. You've lived this. This is not like a fairy tale. We're not concocting fake stories and narratives. Like, this is really what goes on. You see mono-racism. As much as Bantus like to pretend that Anglos don't like them and it's racism, for whatever reason, they seem to team up together when it comes time to attack a mulatto. And you have firsthand knowledge of this. So I appreciate your testimony.
Yeah, most definitely. I just remember what it was like, bro. Like, it was brutal growing up down there in the South. And I remember, like, I'd get it from everybody. Like, because I have a Hispanic last name. So, like, I'm mulatto, but, like, my dad, he's, like, a white Hispanic. So, Hispanic last name. And I remember they would, like, make fun of my last name. They would, like, alienate me and isolate me. And, they'd also then throw the N-word at me. They'd call me a half N-word, the level of racism I had to deal with living around these Anglos growing up in the South was crazy. And even my own black family, because my whole entire black family, they're all from the South. They all live in Texas, Louisiana. Even with them, I remember, like, it was hard to, like, totally relate to them because, I grew up in middle class, like, suburban America around mostly white people. And, like, the thing is, that is a real experience. Like, most of us mulattoes, we're growing up in the suburbs. Like, we're not growing up in the hood. And exactly. And it's like, exactly, that's the thing. So it's like, that's a real experience. And it's like, that experience is totally being erased and delegitimized. And they're saying, you got to go identify as black and assimilate into black culture. It's like, well, hold up. I grew up in middle-class America. Why am I going, middle-class suburban America around mostly Anglos, and that's kind of the culture that I'm most familiar with. Why am I going to just give up all that to kind of assimilate in the black culture and like Like, no, that's not my experience. Like, they want to deny your experience, isolate you, target you, single you out. It's crazy, bro. And I specifically remember, this is the last thing I'll say. I specifically remember this. In the South, bro, like mulattoes, we were not really like fucked with like that by the girls. Here's the funny thing though. The girls who I remember specifically liking me were the Latinas. The Latinas liked me. There was a girl named Marissa Moreno. She had the biggest crush on me, bro. But for whatever reason, the biracial girl, Asia, the one I was just telling you about who set me up to embarrass me, mulatto girl, biracial, they are always either trying to fuck with the whites or the blacks. And in real life, they'll do the same shit to you. Clown you, throw you under the bus. It's crazy. It's the craziest shit. Anyways, that's all I had to say.
No, you're good. I appreciate your testimony. You make a lot of valid points. Like I'll say what you're saying, like the South is not really the friendliest place for mulattoes. You know, the South is not. Okay. It's very anti-mulatto, anti-miscegenation. Literally, that's where all these laws were created. They tried to prevent our existence, in that region. And I think a lot of us are familiar with it. We understand it. Again, shout out to Mulatto Mindset because he has a video he made a few months back where he has a whole graph of the United States, and he's talking about red zone or yellow zone and areas that are bad. And he's a trucker, so he's driven across the entire country. He knows he knows geography just like me, right? And yeah, the South, and a lot of you guys know your testimony. I know Prior Disciples out there in More. Shout out to him. You guys know the South is not friendly to mulatto men. I mean, there's a whole history there, and you will see Anglos and Bantus work together there more than anywhere else to maintain this type of hegemony of monoracial supremacy. So I sympathize with you, man. I know how it is. Like I'm from California, I'm from Orange County, and even where I'm from out there, like I'll tell you, yeah, most of the chicks that I mess with that mess with me are straight up Latinas. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of mestizos don't like that. The males, mestizo males don't like that. That the mestiza, the females, that they fuck with us. You're a mulatto man, you have our phenotype. Those are the chicks who are kind of fetishize you, and they're gonna fuck with you. And it's all good because they're like the hottest chicks anyway. So regardless, we win. It doesn't matter, But I just want to put that out there. Shout out to the cat Progress. I want to hear what you have to say on this matter, the news that I shared, the graph, the image that I have here on the screen. And by the way, man, I like your avatar. I like the image, your incorporation of the mule and the yin yang. I love how you guys are reclaiming that and making it something empowering and positive. I love that. And I think it was like Mindset and also another gentleman, Mulatto Genesis, who started incorporating this kind of mule symbol and making it a thing. Like I love the fact I'm seeing you men grow, you men embrace this. It makes me very proud. But go ahead.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you have anything to add on the subject, the video clips, or just in general how mulatto men need to train and work out every day, need to be aware of their surroundings, and they need to network with other mulattoes, and that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. What's your thoughts on it?
I agree with that 100%. If I could just add that we have to be extra careful when we're in situations where we have to defend ourselves because we will not get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, like even in the first clip that I shared, you see how the monoracial, the Anglo stepped in to defend the dark-skinned Bantu, but the other dark-skinned Bantus were just sitting around there just chilling. Even the mestizos, they were just chilling. But the mulatto man tried to hold back, and the other mulatto man, he was fighting this dark-skinned Bantu who was probably getting uppity, and the white boy Anglo boy jumped in. That's the South for you. That's out there in Texas. And yeah, and even what the gentleman was saying, his own personal testimony, mulatto activist, he was saying where I think he was saying in high school, I believe he was saying in sophomore year, where this girl that he liked had a crush on Mulatta. She basically sided with Anglos and Bantus to kind of undermine him. And it happens. That's a learning lesson, and everyone has their own stories. I didn't go through anything like that personally, me, but I sympathize with you guys who have. And it just this is what you see. You see the people trying to maintain the social order. And of course, like you're talking about ladies, like they're gonna go towards the group that has the most influence and power. It's very obvious, right? But of course, what you'll definitely see when you see mulatto men bossing up, I like how the dude says it, the cat mulatto Ronin. I like how he says that bossing up. When they see mulatto men bossing up, you're gonna have, a brigade of biracial baby mamas and hookers and shit lined up to try to like humble you fellas. It's kind of hilarious to see it. It's like, damn, there's not enough simp enforcers on the block that got any real ammunition that could even make a dent in what we're doing right now. Like what we're doing right now, it's growing so rapidly. People are being inspired and waking up, and the cat's out the bag. Like this is only going to proceed and push forward. Like they still think they can contain this and just isolate it. Oh, you're just an incel. You're just a racist. Like there's too many of us now that have been awoken. But go ahead, guys.
Have you
Well,
seen
I don't
the
know if Progress. Go ahead, Progress. What do you think, bro?
Have you
Say what you
seen
got to
my
say about
video?
that.
Have you seen my video where I was trying to film my video in peace at the park, and the Asian guy walked up on me, and he basically wanted to demand what I was filming about, and I wasn't comfortable sharing with him. And then he basically sat down right next to me after I told him that I really don't want to share with you what I'm filming, and I'd just like to film in peace. And then I asked him, I said, could you move? Because I don't really want you to hear. And he got uppity with me. And then I said, fine, I'll just move. And then he was just like, I'll just be quiet. I said, I just really don't want you to hear me. And then he ended up saying, go F yourself. And then I told him, show some respect. And then he walked towards me like he was going to fight me. And I kept my composure, and I grabbed my camera, and I didn't realize that I ended up hitting record. And so I got all that on film. And if you put your earphones in, you can hear the whole conversation. You might not be able to hear everything, but if you put earphones in, you can hear him say, go F yourself and everything. And if somebody were to get emotional during the situation, I could have easily just like, since he walked towards me, I could have just been like, okay, I'm just going to just knock this guy out. But I thought to grab my camera, you have to think. And my camera was recording, and I got it on film. And as soon as he realized that my camera was recording and I picked it up, he acted like that he was the victim. But he wasn't too for sure that I had it recording from the beginning. He thought I might have just been playing games, but he wasn't for sure. So he walked away and went and laid down as if he didn't do anything. He was the victim. And this is part of the game that you're going to have to fight. It's the fight before the fight, and it's the mental fight. And you got to be prepared for that. And it's not always gonna go as planned, and you're gonna have to improvise and make sure that before you throw that blow, that you make sure that you're legally in the right and that you have all the evidence to win in court. And that's just what I would just advise and recommend, and go check out that video, because I have it recorded by the grace of God of that situation, and you'll see that they like to throw rocks and then hide hands. That's it.
I saw that video. I saw the whole thing. Yeah, man. You were just out there chilling, doing your own thing, and for whatever reason, he decided that he would take it upon himself to come question you, which I think is very strange. Were you like saying anything that like caught his attention?
No, I saw him walking towards my direction as I was going to film, and I just was going to wait for bypassers to go by, and then I was going to do my thing. But he walked straight towards me, and I was in a little nook area, like I was in a very isolated area, and I was thought he would just bypass me by, but he walked straight up to me and then wanted to get involved and wanted to know what I was doing. And I probably should have just been like, hey, from the beginning, can you just do your own thing? But I didn't know exactly what was going on. I thought he was just going to walk by and say a few words, but it ended up turning into something completely different. But I was there first, and he walked all the way across the field. I seen him coming directly, making a beeline towards me like he hunted me down. I honestly think it was the devil, to be honest with you, but maybe that's just, my the way I think, but it could have just been just a coincidence. But no, he made a beeline towards me, and I saw him coming. I was like, this guy's coming towards me. I'm not going to sit here and hit film and start, and then have to start all over again. So yeah, he made a beeline towards me, and I was in a really private, isolated area. Because if you see the video where it goes back into the cut, it's like there's really nowhere to go into that park. And then he said himself that it was a big park. Like, if it was such a big park, like, why did he have to hunt me down and come into my little isolated area where I was trying to film in private? Because I didn't want to be bothered. I just wanted to do my thing and then get up out of there.
Yeah, that is weird. I was gonna say it's unusual for an Asian to be that confrontational. I wanted to ask Vanguard, have you ever had an issue with like a Mexican, who is trying to press you for being with a Latina or something like that? Because I'd be interested to hear that. I know you grew up in Cali for most of your years. I just started living here full time like 2 years ago, so I'd be interested to hear your testimony.
Sure. Can you hear me? Is my audio good?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, no problem. It's happened a couple times, like just dirty looks, really. Nothing really like super confrontational, but uncomfortable looks. Where even like a chick that I was like studying with, like went to the same school, college, studying with, at a restaurant, and I've gotten some dirty looks from folks who were in these places, and even at a bar, Mexican chick who I was messing with. I've gotten some dirty looks, but nothing too serious. But I know that there is kind of some like I guess I can say like animosity or stigma that's there just from my personal experience with some of the people that I've dealt with, where it's like they look at it like it's I'm in the wrong, where I haven't seen that from white guys. If I'm with a white chick and I'm out in public, I never really got those dirty looks or the weird energy like that, but I did receive it. I have received it a few times from Mexican guys, mestizos, if I'm with the mestiza Mexican lady. So it does exist. The jealousy, even a lot of Mexican women will kind of tell on their own men. They'll talk about that and they'll publicly say, yeah, a lot of these guys, they're jealous. Like, especially if they see them with a mixed guy or a half black guy or a black guy. Like, they get bothered by that. If it's a mestiza, a Mexican with a white guy, Mexican guys don't care. They're cool with that because they want to assimilate. They want
Right.
adjacency to power. They don't care about that. It's not a problem if they see a brown, fine, fly, mestiza, Mexican, the baddest chicks, in California. Like, they don't care about that if they see a white guy with a mestiza chick. But if they see a mulatto man with a mestiza chick or a dark-skinned black guy with a mestiza chick, a lot of Mexican guys, they don't like that. So that's my personal experience. That's just me personally. And I'm giving you what my reality. But yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has something to add.
Um, uh, I remember back in high school, I think this one, I ain't going to say no names, but I remember this one dude, he ended up coming out the closet later on, like after I met him and everything, but he would kind of like always like make comments about my sister. He'd always be like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck your sister," or "I'm a da 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 your sister," or whatever. And he would make comments about the city I was from, because I guess the city I'm from and the city he was from was like rivals or whatever. I don't know, but he would always like just be on some weird energy toward me. Like he would like hate on me and shit on me in front of everybody else and behind like stacked back. But he would also like behind closed doors, he would try to like take out his dick and like show me his dick and shit. Like he would be on like weird shit like that. And
What
be
is
like dark skinned dudes. A lot of dark skinned dudes have done like shit like that, like toward me, like throughout my
Yeah.
whole life. Like just either like looking at me with like hatred or like looking at me with like lust.
So yeah, so the guy you're talking about who did that, apologize for that, but you're saying that's a dark skinned guy. I'm guessing, right? It's a dark
Yeah.
skinned
Oh
guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're the most down low people out here, but they pretend this false bravado of masculinity and that they're alpha and all this stuff. But like I said, I mentioned, they act like they're tough, but once you check them and you punk them, all of a sudden the narrative switches. Now they're protected victims, and now it's you, the bad biracial. You're the white supremacist, the bad biracial. You're the violent guy. Like you see, the narrative switches. Like they uphold. They're protected like little privileged victims or something. It's very bizarre. It's like you want to be the tough guy, but you get fucking punked. You get smashed out here on the sidewalk. But now all of a sudden we got to march for you and defend you. Like, which one is it? Because I thought they were super tough. Like I showed the video clip of the biracial guy standing on business. It's funny because that's the narratives they want to push, that they're so special, they're tough, you're soft and sassy or light skinned. Okay, you fucking train MMA, you learn how to box, you could throw some hands, you learn your jiu-jitsu, right? You can push some weight around. All of a sudden, you start cracking some skulls and shit. All of a sudden, you're the bad guy now. Like, so you're not
That's
really
all
going
they
to win.
got.
You're not going to be able to win. And the whole point is, like, you can win in your own mind or amongst your own folks. Just you still got to fight and build your tribe. Like trying to be the nice guy or do the thing the diplomatic way and buy the tea, the book. Like if you are a mulatto man, the
That
chips
shit
are
don't work.
stacked. The chips are stacked against you. They're not going to want you to win. So any way you slice and dice it, just by you identifying as mulatto, they look at that as treason. So if you think you're going to sit down and have a talk with them, by all means, please do it. I support that. I love it. But just so you understand, they look at you as being treasonous by not identifying as with them, because they want you to identify with them so they can have power over you. This is all about power here. And they've been controlling the narrative for far too long. Now we have our independent voices within the mulatto media. We are shaking shit up, and it's only starting. It's only gotten started.
I want to jump on that because it dovetails really nicely with what is happening in the community right now. I don't know if you saw Flowers Telling Stewart's video from earlier, but she basically was like, she deleted all her content on her page because she thinks that our rhetoric is too extreme. And she didn't say specifically who, but she's saying that something is it's becoming too hostile or whatever. And I'm like, listen, like I get it if you think that the rhetoric is maybe too excessive or too mean or whatever, but it's like at the same time, and I think that Progress was telling me this during my live stream before I came here, and he was like, they don't really offer us a lot of leeway or a lot of grace. And so it's like we want to ideally be gracious and understanding, but like we have to hold the line. And like I said, like my instinct is like I want to build bridges, want to be compassionate or whatever. Like that's the kind of guy I am. But like we have to hold the line. Like we are mulatto. We're gonna be firm on that. And you have to respect that identity. And if not, like we don't really owe you anything. Like we don't really have to cooperate with you, and that's just what it is. Like we can be open and have dialogue, but only after you respect that boundary, only after you acknowledge we're mulatto, we're different, you're black, and like otherwise there's no diplomacy that takes place after that. Like there's no charity after that. Like we have to be firm on that, and that's like unnegotiable, you know what I mean? That's my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think that's what bothered her specifically. I think it's something else. It's more of this kind of this schism and split you know, with the as far as the gender, component and the generational nuance as well. I'll say that. I think the generational nuance, because all of you men here are younger than me. I'm in my mid 30s. I'm a millennial. You guys, I believe, are Gen Z. You're Zoomers. I don't know, Progress. Are you a millennial or are you a Zoomer? Gen Z.
Well,
Regard.
I just prefer to keep my anonymity because I
Yeah,
just don't.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's all good. I'm just saying, just in general, I think a lot of like the situation you mentioned with like flowers. I think there's conversations being had with like older gen mulattoes, and there's one guy who's trolling all of us guys. This one guy he's trolling all of us. He doesn't like all of us, and he's basically projecting the fact that he doesn't get respect, and he's trying to take it out on us when it's like, where the hell have you been? Like, where's your work at? You're older than us. You have the skill sets, your computer software, developing websites, coding, engineering. You can build your little springs and your little mouse traps, and that's great. I've shared videos, his old channel. I shared the videos on my time wall. Like, I'll still share the stuff. It's all good that you have the skill sets, but like I think his energy, the direction he's pushing his energy, it's a very weird type of autistic type of energy he's giving off. Like he should be embracing us instead of trying to like fight us or something, or like punch down, so to speak. It's like, bro, you're older than us, bro. Like
Tone policing.
I don't know if it's tone policing. I think it's jockeying for position because of irrelevance. Because a lot of these younger mulattoes like myself, or millennials, even you guys, Z's, we're looking at older folks like you guys are kind of irrelevant in this discussion. Like we're the ones, fighting, literally out here sweating and bleeding and fucking swinging. We're the ones out here fighting, getting in people's faces. It has to be done. Someone's got to be the bad guy. We're going to push this forward. The conversation's being had. The men are waking up. Someone's got to do a little fighting here. Someone's got to get dirty. And the thing is, I'm telling you, millennials and Z's, we're looking at some of the older folks. We're like, where's your work at? Like I always tell, Flowers is probably telling Stuart the most influential person within this discussion, but besides, Richard Warbird Miller, who developed the mulatto flag, 26 years ago. Besides him, as far as Gen X or Boomer, etc., like Flowers has been essential with the whole mulatto history. You guys see my mulatto history channel. I talk about Mulatto Mountain. I talk about Mulatto Bend. I talk about Mulatto Bayou and all this stuff. That's because of Flowers. She has shared this stuff with me. She's like one of the exquisite researchers within this discussion. She shared that with me, and my job is to have a voice. I can utilize social media. So I make videos and produce some content, and I share it with all of you guys. So Flowers will always get her flowers as far as I'm concerned, in this discussion. But she's rare amongst like the kind of the Gen Xers, right? It's be honest. And I think what you're seeing is some people are kind of offended because some of us tend to overgeneralize. I do as well, but other creators as well. We kind of overgeneralize, the gals or the Gen Xers, we kind of overgeneralize, and some people get their feelings hurt. It's natural. It's cool. It's just part of the whole experience. I don't really see it as a bad thing. It's just we're not all going to get along. We have a different approach, but we're having the conversation. People are waking up, and people are standing up for themselves, and that's the most important thing for me. Is people are standing up for themselves. The men are standing up for themselves. The mulatto men are fighting back, and that makes me very proud.
I know she specifically said something regarding race in that video, and how she really, she has a different philosophy. I'll just say that. But I think that, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, this is why, even though like my nature is to want to try to like, hey, like let's include everybody, it's like this is one of those situations where that will not work. Like we can't sit around playing patty cake with everybody. And I'll give an example. There was an older gentleman, probably in his 60s or 70s, who sent me an email 3 days ago talking about how the word mulatto is dirty, and how you're black, and how you're a Johnny come lately, and you have all this resentment, like basically all the same kind of gaslighting tactics, kind of trying to like maneuver me. But he wanted to hop on a live stream with me and like debate me about like mulatto history and all this other kind of stuff, my content, Leo Felton. Like he wanted to basically like debate me. And at first I considered it, at first I was like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll bring this guy on a live stream and talk to him and see what's up. And then I was like, wait a minute, what is the point of that? Like, how does that help us? Like, how does that advance our agenda? Like, I don't get what the point of kind of getting into a back and forth with this guy is if he doesn't even care about what we're doing. He's not trying to advance the movement in any way. He's one of these older black guys, in his 60s or 70s, trying to like coach us. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you've gone astray, you've lost your way. And I'm like, nah, like I actually don't think I'm gonna bring this guy on a live panel and talk to him. And the reason why I say that is because think about the US military. Like the US military is not trained to fight. They're trained to basically delete other people as quickly as possible. Not to use a bad analogy, but it's like we need to have the same mindset of our goal here is not to get in fights or back and forth with other people. Our goal here is to push the movement forward and avoid as many obstacles as possible. So that's why I'm like, why am I going to bring this guy onto a live stream and we're going to get into like this 2 hour long back and forth if he doesn't support us anyways? You know what I mean? That's the logic that I'm
Yeah,
applying.
it's just a waste of time. It's an old nigga trying to jock for position and try to maintain some relevancy. And that's it. Like you have that where you have old niggas trying to pull rank and shit, where it's like, look, they need to lead by example
He's
and
not a
show the work.
mulatto. He's black.
Well, he's irrelevant then in this discussion, anyways. This is a mulatto discussion. So, if they're a monoracial black person, well, the word mulatto is bad. It's just they're irrelevant. Their opinion is null and void. And that's how I perceive it as, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because he's sending me like long Gmails, like paragraphs upon paragraphs. And I'm like, sir, like, why are you this invested? That's what I don't get. Why are you that invested as a 70-year-old black man on the internet trying to like lecture mulatto men on identity? And like, sir, like people like you are the reason we're doing this in the first place. Do you not understand that? That's what I don't think registers to these people. It's like this. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say, well, he's an old, antiquated, monoracial black guy. To me, like, I'm not doing this because of them or in response to them. I'm a millennial. I'm doing this in response to the monoracial millennials who think they're gonna G-check and pull rank on mulattoes and like usurp us and try to humble us and shit. Fuck that. There's so much space out here for mulattoes and other multiracial people. Like that's the thing. I'm not out here like the old folks, like they had their time, okay? I'm a millennial. My time is almost up. Okay. The Z's, you guys are woken up. You guys are already awoken. The Z's are going to take it over. And that was my intention from the start 4 years ago. I was inspired because of the Z's. And I basically said that I'm creating my shit because I want to amplify the voices of the Z's. They're going to make this thing grow and push it into the mainstream. That's been my whole purpose here. So yeah, I don't look at these old heads, especially if they're monoracial, as if they have some type of influence. They're not even a part of the discussion. It's because of people in my everyday life, my work environment, job, wherever I'm at, doing business, who are my age. They're millennials. And they kind of want to like stigmatize me and stuff like that. Like that, my message is kind of directed at them, letting them know I see you. Okay, I'm strategizing and planning, and I'm not going to cower when shit gets hot. I'm here, we're growing, and that's all there is to it. But you guys, I do kind of want to end this at this time. I want to say that. I'll let you guys get your last word because I don't plan on having these like 4-hour live streams. I actually have a life. I want to wake up and go to the gym, work out, make some money. I know tomorrow is 4th of July. I do have some festivities planned. I want to do some kind of, I'll say this. I want to do some golfing. I'm going to hit my drums. I have a West African djembe drum. I'm going to join a drum circle and I want to catch some fireworks. And I have a couple students. I got a tutor as well tomorrow. So I'm still in business. But with all of that, I still got to go to the gym. I got to live up to the diagram or the image I have right here. Let me see if I can share this real quick. I had this up. What did I have this up? I want to repeat this right now. All right. Train MMA, work out daily, no exceptions, not even for me. I'm going to take my ass to the gym tomorrow. Be aware of your surroundings and don't be the token biracial. Okay. So yeah, I got shit I got to do tomorrow. I'm going to kind of end this right now. But gentlemen, if you guys want to add your final thoughts, please do. Go ahead.
Let me jump
Well,
in
I
there.
guess go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I just want to just tell everybody to just think ahead. I don't know if anybody's here have seen the movie The Count of Monte Cristo. Have you seen that?
No.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Sorry.
Well, there's a couple different versions of it, but the one that came out around the 2010 era, with the guy that played Jesus in Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ, he was in it. So if that's the one you see, that's the one I'm talking about. I think that's the best version of it. He was a sailor, and he was just an overall good dude, but he was naive. He didn't know how to read. He wasn't well studied, but he was a good, solid guy, and he got the girl. And but his buddy was well educated. He knew how to fight. He knew how to do the sword. He knew how to play chess. He was educated, and his buddy had everything. He had the money and everything, but he got the girl. And his buddy was jealous of him, so he ended up setting him up, and he got him sent to this place called the Chateau d'If, which was an isolated prison. And he ended up stealing his woman. But while he was in the Chateau d'If, he ended up meeting this guy in there that was trying to escape, but he dug up underneath and into his cell. And when he met the guy was very educated. And to make a long story short, in this movie, the guy ended up training him in the art of studying and math and science, and he figured out what happened to him. And he was a swords guy. He taught him how to fight, and he trained him for years. So the guy ended up died, and he ended up formulating a plan. But the guy also had a treasure map. And so he got out, and he got the money, and he was well educated, I'll just leave it at that. But my thing is that educate yourself. Just don't train how to fight. Like, educate yourself on all this other tactics and philosophy. Like, be smart about it. We live in the new age. You can wear a little mini camera if you're by yourself to just show that, hey, look, you were defending yourself. Just do other stuff besides martial arts. That's good to know how to fight. But you also want to know the strategy behind it and the things, and don't fall for everything, and be prepared, because you're going to get what you don't know will hurt you. And if you watch me on my channel, yes, I'm aggressive, but I'm calculated aggressive. I know what I'm doing. Just don't just get out there and just try to just force yourself to be this person that's just ultra aggressive, and you're just on one moment. Like, just don't watch me, or just don't watch anybody to see, hey, that's how I do it, because you don't know that person may have a game plan behind what they're doing. And it's good not to be punked, but sometimes it's good to just walk away too. But if you're going to fight, make sure that it's total self-defense, and you have the action to where when you do defend yourself, you have calculated aggressive to where you're not going to win the battle just to lose the war. Sometimes you want to lose a battle to win the war. So educate yourself on all front, and watch that movie, The Count of Monte Cristo. And you'll see what I'm talking about. But to make a long story short, that's all what I have. And I just want to make sure that you guys are prepared in this fight, because it's not going to be easy, and we haven't won anything yet. And just don't watch me just to say, okay, well, I'm going to copy Progress and what he's doing. What I'm doing is that I'm very calculated in what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. So just don't just jump out there with any type of aggression. Study and show yourself approved. And that's it. I yield. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night,
You too.
Progress.
Have a good night. Thank you. Big Raj, you want to go next, please?
Oh yeah. I was about to say, I was searching for biracial content a few years ago after kind of like getting tired of the black community and its treatment toward me, kind of like wanting to like, kind of wanted to go listen to red pill content to just hear different perspectives other than what I was hearing from everybody at home, because I wasn't treated the same as them, and they want to kind of like I know how they kind of see life, and that's just based how they were treated, but I was treated different, so I know they don't see completely eye to eye, but I'm just kind of like exploring this stuff because I stumbled on this content and everything after being like, okay, well, I still don't really fit in with whites. I still don't really fit in with blacks, but I am both. So I'm like, why don't I just find something that's kind of like me? So I was just kind of searching and searching, and I stumbled on this, which definitely led me to this path. I'm just grateful for this path. And that being said, with this content, as frustrated as I've been, and I have the right to be, I'm like, I still want to focus on being as professional and cordial as possible, because I by any means necessary just want to see this get somewhere, or at least, me get somewhere so I can advocate for this. I just want to be put the best foot out there as much as possible, just to like, gain as much favor, because I believe, like y'all both say, that's our best way possible forward.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate your voice. We need all the voices we can get, essentially. So your work is definitely appreciated, man. I really appreciate you using your voice to speak on mulatto affairs. I really do. Um, I just curious. I just want to throw this out there. Did you do like a YouTube search? Did you find my channel, or like what popped up? Did you do a Google search or what?
Yeah, I was literally looking for biracial content. I just kept typing in biracial content. But because like I heard the word mulatto, but I also know the stigma behind it. So I'm just like, I didn't know there was a mulatto specific community. I just thought it was biracial and mix. And I'm just like content. But everything I was looking up was kind of like corny and kind of like, it kind of was like tragic mulatto type of shit. I was like, that's not me. I'm not tragic. I don't feel bad about it. I feel good about my heritage, because none of them was actually oppressive toward anybody. They were actually oppressed themselves. So I had the strength and resilience from that. So I searched up, I don't remember exactly how, but I found yours first, Mulatto Vanguard. I found yours first. And then afterwards, I found Mulatto Mindset. And I'm like, at first, it was like your approach. I get how you were saying, like, not everybody likes your approach, because I'm like, I still have love toward, my black side, my dad, my grandma, and all that. But I'm also like, I do have this anger too. I can't ignore that. So I'm like, I kind of resonated with that. And then some of your ideas was talking about, like, I can mess with that, because I kind of feel the same way. I can't say I don't feel the same way. So I'm like, let me try to see if I can, advocate as well and support y'all, while at the same time doing it in like a different way, to try to, show people that, there's different ways that we can hand this information out.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I respect that. I appreciate that. Like I said, man, I support you and your voice doing what you're doing, man. And you could inspire me, man. Your position, your presentation. I'm looking for all of you guys to inspire me, basically. Find you guys help me find new ways to be creative. You guys help me find new ways to, approach these type of subjects and topics. And that's the whole point here, is we're all supposed to piggyback and inspire each other and support each other so we can grow as a group, as a class, as a tribe, etc. So I appreciate you, man. Like your presence here is definitely needed. Thank you for joining the panel.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, peace out, man. Take it easy.
Have a good night, Raj.
And then activists, if you want to kind of kindly close us out, I appreciate that.
Most definitely, yeah. The last thing I was going to say, just in regards to that gentleman, is I think the fear is that we're breaching containment. And I think that you can kind of see it from all sides. This is something I was speaking about in my video that I posted today, where I was talking about how, a lot of these supposedly pro-blacks, there's this infighting in the black community about what is considered pro-black. Can you be pro-black and date outside of your race? In my personal opinion, the answer is no. Because the whole thing about being pro-black is strengthening the bloodline, strengthening the black family, living in the community. So it doesn't make sense how you can claim to be pro-black, but you're married to a white person or a non-black partner, and you're kind of assimilating into their culture, moving out of the black community and moving into kind of like a different society altogether. Even if you post about it on social media, do your little activism, support black businesses, that's not like pro-black. Like pro-black is mind, body, soul. It is eat, sleep, breathe, the black struggle, black identity, on the ground, putting in work. And if you're not doing that, I don't consider you pro-black, right? And so that's the big divide right now. What is pro-black? Can you be pro-black while dating interracially? And the funny thing is, a lot of these black women are beginning to realize that a lot of these black men are not willing to do the work necessary to kind of like, in their words, break down the patriarchy, fight against white supremacy. A lot of these black men go out chasing white women. And so why is it black women's job to exclusively be pro-black while all these other black men are doing what they want? I say that to say there is a divide in the black community regarding women and their role in the black community, and should black women be race loyal, should mulattoes and biracials be race loyal? And the fear is that the black community is unraveling due to interracial relationships, due to the emergence of more biracials, due to more black men and women kind of integrating into society, moving out of the black community. And so they are trying to keep all of us from breaching containment. They're trying to keep black women from dating out, black men from dating out. They're trying to keep mulattoes from identifying as something that is not black. Like they're trying to bring everybody in to prevent us from basically, unraveling the black community. And that's the reason why they're lashing out so hard. It isn't just simply about the identity thing. That's just one component of it. It's everything. They fear the black community weakening. They fear the black community not being as cohesive. And so they want to control the way mulatto women date, the way mulatto men date, the way black women date, the way black men date. And they want to kind of gaslight all of us into believing that it's our obligation to be pro-black. And that's the reason why they're going so hard. They want to keep us from breaching containment, but it's like, it's inevitable. You know what I mean? I'm already seeing all these videos popping up on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Like the consciousness is spreading, the movement is growing. It's inevitable. We're going to break free, and that's what it is.
Yeah, wise words. I like how you said breaching containment. They literally have mulattoes contained. Those mulattoes who participate in the pro-black agenda, like they have you literally contained. And that's the thing. Like they're upset that they're losing their influence, right? It's been happening for a while. It's spreading. They're losing their grip more and more and more. That's why their aggression is amping up. You saw a couple years ago with the whole Drake thing. They celebrated that. They thought that was a win. They literally celebrated it, did a victory lap. They thought that was a win, but it did wonders for us. It helped me grow my movement, my platform, my space. More personnel, more people are involved and engaged. It helped mulatto consciousness spread. They thought they could kind of dunk on this biracial dude and kick him out of blackness, and that there wasn't going to be any negative side effects to that. But oh, no, 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 no. Mulatto men started to see the writing on the wall. They realized, oh shit, it's not safe for you over there. If you say something or do something they don't like, they're going to say you're not like us. The cat's out the bag. But thank you so much for joining the panel, Mulatto Activist. As always, I definitely look forward to talking to you pretty soon.
Most definitely. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, man, anytime. Appreciate you, man. I just wanted to hop up on here real quick. I know we're basically about 2 hours right now. I am going to end this now. Shout out to everybody in the comment section, all of you guys. I see the Owl Show just popped in. I prefer to be pro-biracial. Leave it at that. Shout out to you. And shout out to Mulatto Crusader. Put mulatto first. Biracial is muddying the water and not specific enough. Excuse me, specific enough. Excuse me, I'm slipping over my words. I'm trying to get to bed right here. That's why I shared the link. I have it pinned, the invite to StreamYard. This guy here, biracial nationalist movement. He doesn't like the fact that all you mulattoes are being specific, highlighting mulatto dilemmas and mulatto grievances. He doesn't like that. He thinks all you little biracials should include all the other biracials, so your voice basically gets drowned out and you become a pro-black, gay, lesbian, Democrat shill operation, like the rest of the pro-mixed and pro-biracial pages you got out here within the blogosphere. So this guy right here, who I'm guessing is mulatto, which is not surprising, he prefers you guys to just be all inclusive, to include all the biracials. Look at his name, biracial nationalism. Antiquated. Antiquated. I'll just leave it at that. The invitation was sent. I saw your comment. You're in my chat where you belong. I shared the link. You don't want to jump up on here. We're about 2 hours into this. I'm going to bed. I got to wake up and go train. Okay. It's America's birthday and I'm going to celebrate. Okay. But proud American. I'm going to leave it at that. God bless America. And love you guys, all of you who've been here from day one, especially Flowers telling Stewart. Flowers telling Stewart, I didn't watch the video. I guess you guys said upload the video. She was kind of upset with something, but she's been a supporter of mine from day one, before all of you guys hopped up on here. So I got a lot of love for her and support her. And I support all you mulattoes. I'm going to advocate for you. I would appreciate it if the kind of, if it was mutual and the reciprocity was there, which it is with most of you. I'll say that. It is with most of you. But we do got some sour apples out here who are trying to kind of spread these false narratives and smear campaigns. And they're trolls. They have a history of being trolls. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, your influence is dwindling. But we will persevere. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.